We're going to go ahead and start in thunderbolt position, sitting on our calves. You can have your heels open, sitting up straight and tall. If this is really uncomfortable for your knees, you can try a blanket underneath your knees, or you can sit in another way that is more comfortable for you. Let's take a moment to become centered and grounded. Feel our legs pressing into the ground. Feel our breath move in and out of our body. You can allow your eyes to close for a minute if you'd like. And if you are able, you can restrict the breath in and out your nose. As you exhale, close off the back of the throat, imagining that with your exhale, you're fogging up a mirror or making the gentle sound of the ocean. You can allow your eyes to softly open, and we'll connect some breath to some movement. On an inhale, we're going to open the arms wide and bring them together. So that's one motion in the inhale. And on the exhale, the arms come down and then palms face away, press away from you. And you can do that with a little bit of a force, and exhale strongly. Then we'll inhale, flip the palms, bring them to the shoulders. And exhale, again energetically press, but this time we'll move forward, palms come forward, back can round, head can drop. We'll inhale, keeping the arms where they are, by the ears, but lifting your whole chest and head and arms up toward the ceiling, a slight back bend. And then we'll exhale, the hands can come down to the floor, and then if you've got space, they can come all the way down to a knees together child's pose. If you'd like to create a little bit more space, you can do the whole thing with your knees a little bit wider. Or you can just come part of the way down, or just bring your hands back down to your knees on the exhale. I'm going to go through those movements one more time, and then we'll begin to flow with the breath. So we'll inhale to bring the arms out and up. Exhale to press away from you, opening the arms to the side. Inhale to flip the palms, bring the fingertips to the shoulders, and exhale to press the energy forward, rounding the top of the back, dropping the ears down between the arms. Ears stay down between the arms as you inhale, lift the chest. Look up with a slight back bend, and exhale to come as far down as you'd like, as low as knees together or wide child's pose. And then we'll come back up and reset the breath. So take one complete breath in and out through your nose if you're able. And on your next inhale, we'll begin to move. So inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, press away. Inhale, flip the palms, fingers to shoulders. Exhale, press forward, drop the head. Inhale, lift the chest, look up, and exhale. Bring the arms down. Come back up for a full breath. And we'll Repeat again. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, press out energetically. Inhale, fingertips to shoulders. Exhale, press forward, round the back. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, fold down. Come back up, full breath. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, press out. Inhale, shoulders, fingers to shoulders. Exhale, press forward. Inhale, little back bend. And exhale, come down. Back up for 1 more breath. And last time. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, press the arms out. Inhale, fingertips to shoulders. Exhale, press forward, round the back. Inhale, lift the chest and the chin. And exhale to fold forward. You can take a breath or 2. In your child's pose, you can bring your knees apart if you'd like. You can walk your hands forward. You can stick a folded blanket or a block underneath your forehead or your chest. And then we'll come into extended child's pose. So we'll walk the fingertips forward, press all 10 of the fingertips into the ground, and lift the forearms up off the mat while we hug the inner upper arms to the ears. And with that dynamic energy in the arms, we'll take both fingertips and walk them to the right to create a stretch through the left side. And continue to breathe. And walk the fingertips back to center. And then move them to the left to get that stretch through the right side. And back to center. And we'll prepare to come up into downward facing dog. So we'll come first into tabletop, bring the knees shoulder width or hip width apart, tuck the toes, walk the fingers forward, and then lift the hips up and back. Your knees can be bent here or straight, whichever you'd like. And give the head a gentle shake, yes and no. And then we'll bring the feet together. We'll work the legs towards straight. It's okay if they don't get all the way straight. And then we'll extend the right foot straight back into three-legged dog. The right hip stays down at first. And then we'll go ahead and open the hips to the right. Lift the leg a little higher if you can, and allow the leg to bend, the right leg to bend. Now the left arm is going to have a tendency to collapse, so really press into that left arm. Good. And then bring that right knee in toward your chest. Come up high on the left finger, or toe, high up on the ball of the foot. There we go. And then bring that right foot between your hands and go ahead and drop the left knee to the ground. If you've got a folded blanket nearby and you'd like to put it underneath the left leg, you can do that. We'll go into a low lunge here. If you have blocks and you'd like to put your hands up higher on blocks, helps to create a nice length in the spine, but you don't have to. So here we've got the inner thighs moving toward one another. Got the right knee so it's not extending past the ankle. Lifting the chest and dropping into the hips. If you'd like to, you can press down through the right foot And sweep the arms up, keeping that left hip coming forward and really engaging the lower belly so that you're not feeling strain on your low back. And you can bring your hands back down. You've got blocks, move them backwards, and we'll hinge back in the hips and come into a half split, straightening the right leg. The right toe can come up toward the ceiling. If the leg doesn't get all the way straight, that's fine. So these blocks, you can see the difference with me here, rounded versus a flatter back. So the blocks can help with if you've got them. Continue to breathe into the sensation in your leg and in your body. Good. Walk the hands forward. You can move the blocks just a little bit to the side. And then we're going to tuck the left toe and lift the left leg or left knee off the ground. Now we're going to walk the right hand to the inside of the right foot. And here again, if you want to, you can put a block underneath your hand. We're going to open to the left. So with the right hand on the inside of the right foot, powerfully pressing through both feet, we're going to lift the left arm up, opening to the left. Good. Come back down, and from here we're going to come up into Warrior Two. So we're going to rotate the left foot so that it comes flat, press through the right foot, and then circle the arms to come all the way up into Warrior Two. So the left toes are now pointing forward, right toes facing the short side of the mat, arms are extended out, gaze is over right fingertips, and we're in Warrior Two. And from here we'll set up for extended side angle. So we're going to drop the right elbow to the right thigh, sweep the left arm forward, and then the left arm is aligned with the left ear, and we're making a nice long line of energy between the left fingertips and the left heel. Right side isn't collapsed. Pressing powerfully into the right heel and the whole of your left foot. Keep the arms back into Warrior Two, and we'll go into Reverse Warrior. Drop the left hand to the left leg and sweep the right arm up and back. Giving a gentle stretch through the right side and continuing to breathe. Relaxing your toes, pressing into the right heel and the whole of the left foot. And then we'll circle the arms back down to either side of the feet or the right foot, come up on the ball of the left foot, step the feet together, and come back into downward facing dog to set up to do that whole sequence on the other side. So walking the feet together, we'll extend the left foot straight back, keeping that left hip dropped at first. And then you can go ahead and open the hips to the left, lift the left leg a little higher, and then bend the left foot. Really press into the right shoulder and the right hand so that you're not collapsing onto that right side. And then bring the left knee in to the chest, come up on the ball of the right foot, and then place the left foot between your hands. You can drop your right knee back down to the blanket to set up for the lunge on the other side. So if you used the blocks before, you can grab them again to come up a little bit higher. Inner thighs are moving toward one another, sinking into the hips, and staying broad through the collarbone. We press into the top of that right foot. That takes some pressure off of your right knee. And then if you'd like to, you can sweep the arms up, keeping that lower belly nice and engaged. If you feel this in your lower back, you can go back to hands on the ground or hands on blocks. Good. And walk the blocks back, hinge back in the hips, and straighten the left leg, or work it towards straight. And adjust your blocks however you need to keep that length in the spine. One side of your body is likely more flexible than the other, so you might need different heights for different sides. And come back forward. You can move the blocks a little bit. Lift the right knee off the mat, tuck the right toe. And then we'll move the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Again, if you'd like to, you can put your hand on a block. And we'll lift the right arm, opening the chest to the right. Continue to engage that right thigh, lifting it up toward the ceiling. And bring the hand back down, and we're going to set up for Warrior Two on the other side. So pressing powerfully through the left leg, rooting down to rise. You can windmill your arms to come up into Warrior Two. So now the right foot is pointing to the longer side of your mat, and the left toes are pointing to the shorter side of your mat. Arms are extended out, and your gaze is over the left fingertips. Look, set up for extended side angle. We'll drop the left elbow to the left thigh. Sweep the right arm forward, bringing that upper inner arm next to your ear and creating that nice long line between the right fingertips and the left or the right heel. Come back into Warrior Two, drop the right leg, or the right arm to the right leg, lift the left arm up and back, and stretch through the left side. Reverse Warrior. And then circle the arms back down, and step back into Downward Facing Dog. And we'll shift the weight forward and come in to a plank. So here you can drop down onto your knees. That's a great option if you're pregnant. You can also drop down to one leg, and after a few breaths, switch to the other side. Any of those options are great. Working to get the shoulders over the wrists, lower belly is engaged. All 10 of your fingers are pressing into the ground, and you're trying to take those nice deep breaths. And we're going to move into a side plank. So if you're down on your knees like I am, we're going to rotate the right foot straight back behind you, bring the right hand to the center of your mat, and then turn to bring the left arm straight up and left leg out. If you'd like to go into the version where both feet are stacked on top of each other, you can bring that right foot so that it's underneath the left and work to have both hips pointing forward and trying not to have the hips drooping or raised up too high, but right along that center of your body. But you can also take it with the leg bent. Good. And then we'll come back to center plank to set up for the other side. So we'll bring the left hand to the center of the mat, sweep this left foot straight back, straighten the right foot, and extend the right arm straight up overhead. So you can stay here, or if you'd like to stack your feet, you can extend the left foot and put the right foot on top, trying to have the hips facing forward in alignment with your body. So you're trying to make a line from the crown of your head to your heels. Even if your leg is dropped, one knee is dropped, you can still work for that line. And we'll come back into plank. And from here you have two options. If you're pregnant, you can go onto your knees and come up into camel with your hands on the small of your back, lifting the chest and the chin. Or if you'd like to do cobra with me, we'll hug the elbows straight back so they brush the side of your body, coming slowly straight down onto the mat and releasing the toes. From here, you can move that blanket out of the way. Make sure all 10 of your toes are pressing into the mat. Hands under shoulders. And then we're going to, while the inner thighs are working up toward the ceiling, we're going to lift the chest up off the mat. Hands should be light here. If you're really flexible in your spine and you'd like to straighten your hands, you're welcome to do that. Try not to let your shoulders hug up toward your ears though, and make sure you're not feeling that in your lower back. But baby cobra is a great option to just lift the chest, make sure your hands aren't heavy, and press into all 10 of those toes. Good. And we'll come back into a child's pose now. So we'll bring the knees wide, big toes together, hinge back in the hips. Support yourself with blankets or blocks as needed. You can relax your arms a little bit this time instead of having them energetically engaged. Let them be relaxed and take a few smooth breaths after that hard work. Good. Walk your hands back to your knees, and we'll swing the feet around to come in to a bound angle pose. So if you've got that folded blanket, you can sit up on the folded blanket for these seated poses. So we'll bring the soles of the feet together. You'll put your hands behind you or hold on to your ankles. But really press through the sitting bones, rooting down into your mat, rising nice and tall. On an inhale, lift the spine up toward the ceiling, and on an exhale, you can allow yourself to fold forward as far as your body would like to go. If you're not holding on to your feet, you can walk your hands forward if you'd like, or you can even have them still back behind you. If you're feeling this in your knees, you're always welcome to put blocks underneath your knees to support your knees in this bound angle pose. And walk your hands back to your feet. And we'll do a little bit of a twist here in bound angle pose. So we'll take the left hand, place it on the right knee, right hand straight behind you. Inhale to grow tall, and exhale, gentle twist. And if you're pregnant, really just keep this very mild. Even if you're not, we're not pressing into our edge here on this twist. Let it be gentle. Allow your body to grow on the inhale and gently twist on each exhale. come back to center, and switch sides, placing the right hand on the left leg, left arm back behind you. Inhale to press through the sitting bones, growing tall, and exhale to gently twist to the left. And back to center. And from here we'll move into staff pose. So you can extend your feet straight right where you are, or if you want to turn so that your legs are pointing toward the short side of the mat, you can do that. And again here I really recommend sitting up on 1 or 2 or even 3 folded blankets to allow that lower back to not curve. So you really want to be perched up on your sitting bones. Your hands can drop to your sides, you can tent your fingertips. And we're going to engage the legs. So the toes are flexed, pressing those thighs into the ground. If your legs are bent here, that's fine. Lower belly is engaged. And even though you're pressing into your fingertips to help support a nice long spine, the shoulders aren't coming up. So you're pressing the shoulder blades down away from your ears, even while you're pressing into your fingertips. And while you've got your lower belly and your arms and your legs very engaged, see if you can allow your face and your neck to be soft. And if you've got space and you'd like to walk your fingertips forward a little bit, you're welcome to do that. If you can reach your toes, you can put your hands on your toes, but you're also welcome to stay up. If you'd like to bend your knees a little bit, it might help you keep your back a little bit flatter. And then as you breathe, you can see if you can work those legs a little bit straighter. Come back up. You can move the blanket off to the side. We're going to move into boat pose. If you're pregnant, you can just come back on your elbows. Maybe even just take a gentle windshield wiper with your knees. Otherwise, we'll just take a few breaths in boat pose. So arms can be behind your knees, and you can lift one foot at a time. You can lift both feet with your hands behind your knees. You can let go. You can work your legs towards straight if you can keep your spine straight and long. Got lots of options here. Just find a boat that you can play in for a few breaths before we work our way onto our backs. Good. We'll go ahead and lay all the way back down onto our backs and set up for bridge pose. So here you can walk your shoulder blades together underneath you, and you can either press through the whole side of your arm, including your pinky finger, with your hands on either side of your hips, or you can, after you lift your hips, you can interlace your hands underneath you. So we'll walk the feet a little bit closer so that your fingertips can just barely brush your heels. And then we'll press through the feet, press through the arms, allow the hips to lift, allow your shoulder blades to walk even closer together, and then if you want to, you can interlace your hands. So here, we're really wanting to try to relax the glutes. And one way to help us do that is to imagine that you're rotating your inner thighs toward the mat without letting your knees come in, and while continuing to press through all 4 corners of your feet. One more breath. And slowly lower your hips back down. Good. Take a breath and we'll do that one more time. If you were interlacing your fingers, try putting the other thumb on top this time. So press through the feet, press through the sides of the arms, lift the hips, walk your shoulder blades together as much as you can, and then if you want to interlace, try to put that other thumb on top. Imagine that you're squeezing a block between your inner thighs while allowing those inner thighs to roll toward the mat. And keep breathing. And slowly lower back down. Good. And we'll take a reclined pigeon pose. We'll cross right leg over left. You've got the right ankle going right behind your left knee. And you can stay right here if you're feeling a nice stretch in your hips here. Or if you'd like, you can interlace your hands behind your left knee, pulling the left knee into the chest. And try to keep your feet flexed here. It's for the health of your knees. Lower back is relaxed into the ground. If your lower back's coming really high up off the mat, you can lower that left foot back down to the ground. And release the left foot and cross. Oh goodness, cross, so that was the right foot. If you were doing the left foot, just do the other foot. Cross the other foot over the other knee. And you can stay here. Or you can interlace your hands behind your knee and hug it in towards your chest. And release. And we'll all take a gentle windshield wiper now, so both feet on the ground, spread about hip width or a little bit wider. And then just let the knees fall to the left and to the right. Don't move quickly with this, you can move nice and slowly. You can even take a few breaths on each side if you'd like. Hug the knees into the chest. Knees can be together or wide. And we'll prepare to set up for our Shavasana. If you've got a favorite resting pose, you can go ahead and begin to move there now. Maybe you're pregnant and you want to put lots of pillows underneath you so that you're sitting up more at an angle, or maybe you want to lie on your left side using pillows and blankets to support you. Maybe you want to do a reclined bound angle or do legs up the wall. Maybe you want to bring the knees together and the ankles wide. Or perhaps you take your folded blanket and put a little bit of a roll in it and place it underneath your knees and extend your legs. Just find a place where you can rest comfortably, allowing as much of your body to release tension. Not trying to do any work in any part of our body in this pose. We're just allowing ourselves to rest. So once you find a place where you can rest, you can close your eyes if you'd like. You take a few deep, soothing breaths. And after a few breaths, you can allow your breath to be natural, creating the space for your whole self to find some quiet and some stillness. And if that doesn't happen today, you can make the space for whatever you need. Maybe that's eyes opened and sitting up and moving around. Maybe it's mind wandering. Allow yourself to be where you are, and we'll take a few minutes of quiet. You can slowly bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. And to relax your eyes and see how slowly you can open them, allowing just a little bit of light to come in at a time. If you're on your back, you can bring your knees into your chest. Roll onto one side. And come up back to your comfortable seat. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll look forward to practicing with you again soon.